విషయంలోకి వెళ్తే ఐటీతో పాటు లైఫ్ సైన్సెస్ రంగానికి కూడా తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వం అధిక ప్రాధాన్యతనిస్తుందన్నారు మంత్రి కేటీఆర్. అనేక స్టార్టప్ కంపెనీలకు టీ హబ్ ఊతమిచ్చిందని చెప్పారు. కరోనాతో అందరి జీవన విధానమే మారిపోయిందన్నారు కేటీఆర్. అటు టెక్నాలజీ ద్వారా హెల్త్ కేర్ రంగాన్ని ప్రజలకు అందుబాటులోకి తేవచ్చునని మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ సీఈఓ సత్య నాదెల్లా అభిప్రాయపడ్డారు. కరోనా మహమ్మారి అనేక సవాళ్లను మన ముందు ఉంచిందన్నారు. ఈ మేరకు బయో ఏషియా సదస్సులో సత్య నాదెళ్లతో మంత్రి కేటీఆర్ ముఖాముఖి నిర్వహించారు. కేటీఆర్ ప్రశ్నలకు వర్చువల్ మీటింగ్లో ఆయన సమాధానమిచ్చారు.
One of the first things that we all ought to remember is India is still known as the pharmacy of the world. You know, we manufacture nearly 20% by volume of the generics of the world, and more than 62% of the vaccines of the globe are manufactured also from India. India is still known as a low-cost copycat destination. We still don't really enjoy a great deal of eminence when it comes to IPR or, you know, our own innovative products, etc. We have not really enjoyed a great deal of success in discovering our own. Life sciences is a very, very important sector for Telangana and Hyderabad, and of course, information technology is another very important sector for us. And COVID-19 has changed, you know, the way we do business, the way we live, the way we work, etc. But particularly, I think what excites me is it also has brought about several points of intersection between various industries. You know, multi-stakeholder engagement, cutting across industries, and you know, all of course aiming at reducing the cost of drug development and, you know, for cheaper, accessible healthcare outcomes.
If you think about what this pandemic has done, Ram, is it's just across the board accelerated digital transformation. In the first instance, I even shudder to think what would the world's level of productivity and economic activity been if it was not for even the current generation of technology, whether it is a cloud or technologies like Teams or what have you, which just kept us going. In fact, I would say the first phase for us, we became digital first responders to all the first responders out there, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in critical manufacturing and retail. But to your point, there's real structural change, right? I mean, if you take even in healthcare, I don't think we ever are going to go back and say that outpatient visit will always start with some AI triage tool on your mobile app that then leads to a telemedicine visit that then perhaps leads you to going to the outpatient ward, right? So that workflow is truly transformed. Collaboration, one of the things that I would say this pandemic has really pushed us is to ensure that you can always work from home, but still collaborate with other people. But it's no longer, Ram, just for the knowledge workers, right? So it's even for the frontline workers. Think about this. You are a frontline health worker and you want to call maybe an expert who maybe is at home. And you're able to now do that, whether it's using something like even HoloLens or even just a messaging application like Teams. So that ability to collaborate across frontline and knowledge work, I think, is transformed. And another aspect, Ram, I'm seeing, which is really changing is learning, right? I mean, all of us are bringing in new people into our organization, trying to build that human capital. And a lot of human capital depends on social capital. After all, we learn from others whom we interact with. But learning now needs to come to the tools you use. So I think, after all, if we sort of say every institution is only as good as it can learn every day, then you have to rethink how that learning happens on a daily basis. And then the last piece I would say is well-being. Just because, like, sometimes I joke, like right now when I'm working from home, I don't know whether I'm working from home or sleeping at work. And you need to make sure that you have the ability to use data to take transitions, take those breaks. You need to even equip managers so that they can care for their employees. So I think collaboration, learning, and well-being are fundamentally the things that are going to transform how we think about work while giving people a lot more flexibility.
ఫార్మసీ రంగంలో భారత్ ప్రపంచంలోనే అగ్రస్థానంలో ఉందన్నారు మంత్రి కేటీఆర్. 62% పైగా వ్యాక్సిన్లు మన దేశంలోనే తయారు కావడం గర్వకారణమన్నారు. అయినప్పటికీ రావాల్సినంత గుర్తింపు మనకు రాలేదన్నారు. ఐటీతో పాటు లైఫ్ సైన్సెస్ రంగంలోనూ భారత్ పటిష్టంగా ఉందన్నారు. మంచి పాలసీలతో కొత్త ఇన్నోవేషన్లు జరుగుతాయని చెప్పారు. ఈ మేరకు బయో ఏషియా సదస్సులో పాల్గొన్న మంత్రి కేటీఆర్ పలు విషయాలను ప్రస్తావించారు.
When it comes to IPR or our own innovative products, etc., we have not really enjoyed a great deal of success in discovering our own molecules, our own unique set of products, etc., which are of global eminence. Policies that actually encourage entrepreneurs to go ahead and innovate have to be in place. There was a policy of tax deduction for research and development, which was almost at 200%, but during this government, in government of India, it has been reduced from 200% to 150, and from 150 again last year to 100%. This is a manufacturing linked innovation, so R&D related subsidy, which has been removed. Now this sort of kind of works counterproductive to what we are trying to achieve and accomplish. When Honorable Prime Minister talks about self-reliant India, this kind of goes completely countering that whole idea. We are very strong in information technology and also in life sciences. Now, the intersection between information technology and life sciences is a very exciting opportunity. In fact, if you use a specific sector like artificial intelligence technology to analyze and interpret, the genetic information and a lot of research that goes on all the data that gets mined, we will be able to, in fact, cut short the whole process of discovery, drug discovery, and we should be able to come out with something of our own. In fact, one of the discoveries that I'm very proud of from Hyderabad recently is a drug called, I have to spell it right, so I've written it down. It's called umbralisib, I think it is called umbralisib, from a company called as Incogen. And it is the first molecule to have been approved by the US FDA, and it's the first of its kind in India. So this sort of path-breaking discoveries can happen by good policy support and also strong IP, and at the end of the day, again, exploring all these new exciting technologies.
My personal belief is that it's not the government which will deliver top-class new products and moving into greater value addition, but it's the private sector. We already have over 50 bio incubators. 130 products and technologies have been deployed in the market by BIRAC. But it's very important that we've now come out with a whole range of schemes to promote development of medical device parks, bulk drug parks. We've come out with a production-linked incentive scheme for pharmaceutical sector for over 25,000 crores to boost innovative drug development in various categories, including biopharmaceuticals, orphan drugs, complex generics, anti-cancer drugs, anti-diabetic drugs, medical devices, and active pharmaceutical ingredients. There has been a good enthusiasm for these schemes. We've received over 215 applications from about 83 manufacturers, and I personally feel that the production-linked incentive should really lead us towards greater self-sufficiency in API, but it should really lead us towards moving towards a big boost towards innovative drug development. This will really be the